What's up, everybody? Welcome to No Limits. I am your host, the Red Queen. Today, we will be having an interview with Faria. We're waiting for him to get online while we waiting. I gotta fix this because it always comes out private on Facebook and it's not private, it's public. How's everybody doing? We're waiting from Andre from Sixth Sense. Did I tag him? Hold on. Let me fix it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Javier, how are you? How are you, sweetheart? How's everybody doing? I don't know who's on. I can't see. Yo no veo. Estoy ciega. Let's see. Alex Martinez, how are you? Andre. Go to what? I don't know what he said. What does G2G means? Not too good, but hanging in there. Oh, I hope you're doing better. I pray that you get better. I pray that you get better, Javier. Let's see what happens. Hello, Michelle. While you guys are here and we're waiting for Andre, can you guys please do me a favor and share it up? Tag your friends, tag your family, tag even your exes. Let's go. I'm getting messages now. Why is it every time I go on live, everybody wants to call me? They want to text me. They want to chit chat. Where is Andre? Put this one somewhere over here. Thank you, Michelle. Share it up, share it up, share it up. Peter, how you doing? That's when they have time. Yeah, when I'm on live, right? Thank you, Javier. Well, I have people tuning in from Facebook and I have people tuning in from YouTube. So if you guys don't see the comments that are up there, is because they're from people from YouTube. But as soon as Andre gets on, I will be putting up all the comments on the screen. My eyes hurt today. If you see my face red, don't be worried. That's just the lupus kicking in. It's not COVID. This man. Late. He's late. It's 6:01. I'm gonna be bad. Marisol, how you doing? Dios mío. Andre, where are you? Give me 2 minutes. I'll be on. I checked. He's coming on. Give him 2 minutes. He'll be on in a minute. So how's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a great New Year's. You guys already know how that is. I'm good. Just the loop is kicking in, but I'm not gonna let it bother me. We're waiting for Andre. He's kind of late. He's having technical difficulty. Hello, Jennifer. How you doing? I usually have a video up to entertain you guys, but I've had a long, long day. I got my notes and everything, but I didn't bring no video. And here he is. You're black.
Hold on.
Turn on your light. Get up and dance. You crazy? up out of here. Oh, device not connected. Hold on. He's coming back. He'll be back. He's having technical difficulties. Entertain woman. There you go, Peter. Why don't you get up here and dance for me? Entertain me for once.
You got me?
Hello, Andre. How you doing? Welcome to
Good. How you doing, love?
Welcome to No Limits. So, Andre, for
Yes.
those that don't know you, can you introduce yourself and tell them who you are?
Sure. My name is Andre Faria, and I run Valeska, which is also Six Sense. I am freestyle. We do a lot of the shows in the East Coast and New England. We have a record label. We do almost everything. So
I went on your website.
oh, did you?
I was like, oh my God, everybody's the jack of all trades. What's up with this?
You know, I like doing different things. I like to jump into different forums, and I like to try to expand the brand. So many people are just stuck into one ball, and why not?
You're frozen. Okay, there you go.
So
Andre, tell me how you started off.
When I was a kid, I grew up in the projects, Astoria projects, Queensbridge projects, Chelsea projects. We moved around a lot. Frederick Douglass houses. As a kid, we used to throw parties in the streets. We used to break open the lampposts and plug the extension cords up there. We used to set everything up in the project. We used to throw parties in the parks. We were always throwing parties ever since we were kids. As I got older, I kind of got into finance, and that was my forte. I was really good with numbers. I was really good with marketing. I was really good in sales. I had a gift of gab. It just always worked for me, and I did really well with that. As I started dating my wife, she's a big freestyle fan. So on her birthday, I told her, "Hey, look, I'm gonna do a party for you for your birthday party. You choose whatever artist you want. I'll make it happen." She chose all these artists. I booked them personally myself, and then I realized I'm like, wow, this bill's like $8,000-9,000. How am I going to pay for this? So I said, let's go back old school. So we started selling tickets again. The party sold out. We paid for the party. We made an extra $3,000 or $4,000. Everybody had a good time, and then that bug comes back. You become addicted again. Wow, like I had a good time. Everyone was dancing, having a good time, and I walked away with a couple of $1,000s in my pocket. I'm gonna do it again.
It's like a drug. It's like a
exactly.
drug.
Exactly. Yeah. So it started doing one party a year, then 2 parties a year, then 3, then 4, and it kind of spins out of control. And then for my second party, it's actually the night that I proposed to my wife. I wanted to do it legit, I wanted to do it official. So I was looking for different people to book artists through. The first time I threw a party, I booked it through Charlie Rock. The second time, I didn't know Sal Abatello that well. I was a little nervous because I heard Sal's big and tough and all this stuff, and I didn't want to really call him at first. So I had called Latif first, and I called him up and I said, "Listen, I want to throw a party. I have a $5,000 budget. What can we do?" Latif turned around and said, "Listen, I could do this party for you, but it's going to cost you $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. I'm like, yo, I have a $5,000 budget." Mm-hmm. So I hung up the phone, wound up calling Ruben, Nene, and I said, "I have a $5,000 budget. Let's throw a party." And he goes, "All right, we could do this. It'll cost you like, $6,000. I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And I said, but I only have $1,000 on me, but I'll pay the rest later. And then Nene, he hung up the phone on me, and then I called Charlie Rock again, and, he gave me a budget like $5,500, $6,000, and he hung up the phone on me, because I only had $1,000 on me. So I called up Sal, reluctantly. I called up Sal Patello, and I said, "Listen, Sal, I want to throw a party. I have a $5,000 budget, and can we make this happen? So Sal came up with a budget of like 5,500, and I told him, Sal, listen, I only have $1,000. I said, and Sal calls me up. He goes, when can you come up with the other half? I'm like, give me like a week or two. Sal's like, give me the $1,000. I'll book the acts, and if you don't come up with the rest of the money, I'll just take $1,000. So I'm like, all right, So we did the date. We came up with the money, and the party turned out to be phenomenal. The place only fit like 500 people. I think we had like 900 people there. And, I proposed to my wife, and, that's how I started to build the relationship with Sal. And it's been nonstop. We've been going ever since.
So you started off being a promoter.
Yes, I started off being a promoter. I started doing parties. I enjoyed doing parties. At one point, Mickey Garcia at Micmac was throwing a lot of these parties where he was doing these re-releases. I had booked Mickey on a couple of my parties, and then at that point I went to his house. We went to a party, and then he had introduced me to Jill Terrell and Julio Mena. At that point, they had that song "Runaway," and it was doing really good. And they're like, you should really work with them and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not a manager. I'm not a record label. I don't know anything about this stuff. I just want to throw events, and I just want to make money. So Jill and I got close at one point, and then we started working together. I got her on the Diamante show and a couple other things, and we just got really close, and I started learning the ropes from there. It wasn't official. I wasn't their official manager. I was more we were just hanging out together. I was booking them on shows and stuff like that, and it worked. Being a promoter, it's easy to get an artist on the show because we know all the other promoters, and we could throw our own parties. There are so many artists out there that are having such a hard time getting on these shows, whereas it was easy for me because, we just throw our own shows, and we partner up with a lot of the other promoters. So we have a little bit more of an end than like the average artist. So it just worked out for me. And from there, just kind of spun out of control. We were doing a music video for Julio Mena, and we needed a girl to play the lead role for a song called Love and War that we did with Julio Mena and Mr. Cheeks. And the girl backed out last minute. So one of the girls that comes to our shows, Maria Tucker, she's like, yo, I know this girl. She'll come down last minute. Don't worry about it. And this girl came up, and her name was Taina. And Taina showed up to the house to play the lead role in the video. And when I first met her, like, Taina looks really young for her age. So when I met her, she looked like she was like 12 or 13, and she was really like 18. And I turned around and I said, how old are you? She's like, I'm 18. I didn't believe her. So I left her in the living room, and I kind of walked away, and because she showed up like 2 hours early. So it was just me and Taina in my house 2 hours early. She looked like she was like 12 or 13. I didn't want to be around her. So I kind of left her in the living room for like 2 hours by herself. I left. I didn't want nothing to do with that. I was thinking like Chris Hansen is going to come out the closet. Like, what are you doing with this girl? And Dana was my fiance at the time. And she was like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, yo, I'm hiding out in the backyard. And he was like, that girl Taina's there. I'm like, yeah, she's in the living room. And she's like, you left her there? I'm like, yeah, she's been there for like 2 hours by herself. And she's like, why don't you hang out with us? I said, no. I think they're lying to me. I think she's like 12. I want nothing to do with her whatsoever.
Why didn't you ask her for ID?
Well, she told me she was like 18, 19, something like that, but I didn't believe her. I thought she was just complete BS. So when the videographer came in and when Julio showed up, that's when I showed up and started hanging out with all of them. But we found out that she can sing, and we started working with her. And then, her and I have been like this ever since.
That's when you decided to open a record label?
The first time we released a record was with Julio Mena and Mr. Cheeks. But I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. It was such a good record, but it was like a hip-hop record that I was promoting to a freestyle genre. So it pretty much flopped. And it sucked because it was such a good album because Julio Mena is a dope artist. He has dope vocals. And I think that record could have done a lot better, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have no clue whatsoever. And same thing with Taina. When we worked with Taina, we did Tonight. It was, produced by Mickey Garcia. We did Let Me Live. We learned, as we went on, how to sell records, and we kind of mastered it at this point. And at this point, I can proudly say that over the last 2 or 3 years, I can say and I can show proof that we've probably outstreamed and out earned every other label out there. We could show receipts on that because we have it down packed. A lot of these icons that have sold millions of records, these freestyle legends, they're great. They come up with these great songs and these great music. But back then, the Cynthias, the Kays, the Georges, and all the Judys, they didn't sell their own records. The labels sold the records. You understand? The Micmac sold it. The Fever sold. They sold the records. So now they're doing it on their own, and they're coming up with such great products, but they're not sure exactly how to sell it. So winds up falling on the backside, which is sad because they come up with a lot of great music. They just don't know how to properly market it. So we've been helping them. We have a Verse 312, which is run by Elisa B. She has a song coming out with Coro that's coming out this year.
What's the connection with 312?
So I literally have 10 companies, and it's a little overwhelming. And with me, it's not. There's no three ways about it. People either love me or they hate me. There's no maybe. So I'm very business savvy. I'm just more into business, and I'm not really a people person. Really? So I'm so not a people person. But Alyssa B, Alyssa B is a. You're laughing. You see?
No sense, Andre. You throw parties. You're a people person.
No, I do, but it's different because when I'm doing business with people, I'm not normally a friendly person. There's very few people that actually know me. Taina knows me. Alyssa B knows me. Obviously my wife knows me, but other people that know me, they say, Andre's really harsh. Andre's really he's kind of mean. He's strictly business, and if he doesn't like the project, he bounces it away, and so I just have a personality that very few people know who I am personally. So many people call up Taina. They'll call up Alyssa B. Andre was mean. Andre was this and that. Well, they say, we know how he is. Andre will give his heart. Andre will give up his shirt to help us if we need to. He's not like that with everybody. He's like that with some people. But everybody loves Alyssa B. Alyssa B is probably one of the hottest songwriters out there today, especially in the freestyle genre. She did Slipping Through My Hands. She wrote the Rochelle song, Praying for an Angel. She's done songs with Prince, Maximilian. Her resume speaks for herself. Everyone's dying to do a song with Alyssa B. And at one point, I was in a hospital last year for 2 or 3 weeks. And while I was in the hospital, Alyssa B, we had all these pending projects, and Alyssa B just took the reins. She got the remixes done. She got this done. And I didn't even know. When I came out the hospital, I was like, I'm a little backed up. What do I do? And Alyssa B's like, I got this. All these songs are done. We're good to go. Just release it. I was really impressed that she took the initiative to do that. So between her business savvy and the way she gets stuff done, and the fact that people love her as a person, as an artist, and as a songwriter, she's very likable. So I said, listen, I have this label. I think you would fit. So why don't you run it? I'll fund it. You run it. You book whoever you want. You release records whoever you want. Even if I don't like them, it's your label. You have full control over it. I have nothing to do with it, and that's it. And she loved it. She jumped on the idea, and it makes me happy to turn a friend and an artist into a business owner. And now she got Coro. She got Michael January. She got Nelson Perez, Hitman. They all got records coming out this year, and they all sound dope. Even Michael January, I didn't even know he can sing, and we heard some.
Sing either. I thought he was just a dancer.
No, I thought he was just a dancer too, and we heard some snippets and tracks. I'm like, who is that? They're like, that's Michael January. I was like, get out of here, really? I say he can sing. They're like, yeah. And I was shocked. I was like, all right, cool. And Hitman, pretty good too. And again, and the biggest catch was when we were able to. I helped Alyssa B with the deal, and we managed to get Coro. And the song is a beautiful song, and it's called Mona Lisa, and that's coming out. And then me personally, we grabbed Cynthia and List of
I
Broken
was going
Hearts,
to
which
ask
was
you about that because I read
yeah.
about that you had signed Cynthia September 25th of last year.
Yeah, so the only problem with Cynthia is that she's so busy. She is always gigging. She's always in New York. She's here. She's there. She is probably one of the busiest artists out there. She's always doing shows. So trying to get her locked down to do a recording session, to do a photo shoot, it's like pulling teeth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So that's the only complaint I have about Cynthia is that she's just so busy. So we're trying to work around her schedule. Coro is a little bit easier because he has JR, and JR manages everything. Cynthia's by herself, so she does everything on her own. So she's all over the place. But Coro has JR, and JR, we managed to get the photo shoot done, recording session done. And I'm super excited. You guys got to hear that song from Coro. It's crazy.
You manage too, don't you?
I do. Well, mainly, look, I work with, as a label, we work with these artists. So, we have Alyssa B, we've worked with Charlie XO, we've worked with Charlie Baby. It was more on a record label point. But even though it's just on the record label part, you can ask Alyssa B, I'll do whatever it takes to make her happy.
Yeah.
When people owe her money, I collect that money for her. When people are playing games, I make sure it gets done. When she has shows in New York, I'm like that unofficial manager with Alyssa B and everybody else. I do manage Taina. We just have like a father-daughter type of relationship. Her fiance, gets along with me. He has no problems when we travel out of state. Just me and her family. We get along, really good. We travel together. We go on vacation together. And they all know that when I look at her more like a dad than anything else. And she's the one person that I do manage, and everybody else, we're just like a family. So
that's good. So also, I was reading that you make a lot of websites for everybody.
Yep.
I saw. Go ahead.
I started doing my websites. When growing up, I was very, very poor. I didn't have a pot to piss in. When I was 18, 19 years old, I had my first daughter, and we were struggling. I was struggling to buy diapers, struggling to buy this, struggling to buy that. So I've learned to do stuff on my own. When you have a daughter and your car breaks down and you can't afford to get it fixed, you learn very quickly how to fix it yourself. So starting off with the music business, and you didn't have any money at one point, you learn how to do websites on your own. And I started doing all these websites. And then next thing you know, I started working with Cynthia. And Cynthia started liking the websites and everything I was doing. And I did Cynthia's website, dreamgrowcynthia.com. I've done that. C-Bank Live, I did her website. The Erica Roman Foundation, we did that website. Taina Music NYC, we did that website. So, it just kind of spun out of control. It was more like I'm just doing it for me. And then when Cynthia called me up and she's like, I need your help. And, we did her website. And her website's busy. Like I said, she is like the hardest working person in the business. And her merchandise store is insane. It's always going in and out. Cynthia has all new merchandise, all different products. She stays on top of it. She's calling me up consistently. Take this side, take this line down, put that line up. But yeah, we started doing websites, and it's been working. Yeah, it was just something that I did on my own. And then when one person calls me up, and then the freestyle artists, they all talk together. So when they're at shows, and people are like, yo, Cynthia, I like your website. Like, how are you doing that? Andre, talk to Andre. And then C-Bank hit me up, and then Sal hit me up. Look, our Erica Roman site is horrible. Can you help me? We did that site. So everything is more like word of mouth. All the freestyle artists, they're like,
later. I'm gonna need a website.
And we do it quick. We can get it done like in a week, and
That's
everyone's been happy. Like I said, C Bank is happy, Cynthia's happy, Erica Roman Foundation, they're all happy. So I think I have like I've done like maybe 30 or 40 websites. So
Okay. So you don't only deal with freestyle.
I'm sorry, what? Repeat that?
You don't only deal with freestyle, right?
No, no. We do a lot of hip hop. We do pop. Um, Freestyle is like a specific genre, and the only reason why I started working with hip hop is because Taina is very young, you know,
Mm.
and putting a young girl on a stage where everybody's like 40, 50 and above, you know, she wasn't, she didn't like doing it because she felt out of her element, you know? Yeah,
Okay.
but meanwhile, but she's learned a lot, you know? The reason why her stage show and her act is so good is because, you know, she's been up there with TKA and Judy and George and everybody else. They've all sat down with her. Try doing it like this, try doing like that. So she's learned the good and the bad. But at the same time, she never really fit in because she's entertained. Don't forget, freestyle music is a set genre, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're 40 and above. You know, we want to hear the hits. You know, we want to hear all the George Lamont hits, the TKA hits, the Judy Torres hits. You know, we don't necessarily want to hear like the new music. We're set in our ways. We want to hear this, you know. So when they have a young girl coming up, and like I said, she's from the Bronx, you know, she's from the hood, you know, she's more hip hop, and you know, I wanted to make her happy, so we started getting more into the hip hop, and we had more fun doing the hip hop. You know, there's more money in it. Taina's career has done very, very well because of the hip hop. But at the same time, she's learned everything from the freestyle. So yeah, we do a lot of hip hop and we do a lot of freestyle stuff.
How many artists do you have signed to your label?
On Sixth Sense is Taina, Urban. We still do music with Alyssa B. Um, we have Charlie Baby on the label. We have his song out. We were working with Charlie XO. Charlie XO now is doing more Latin stuff, but we did one or two projects with him. And that's it on our end. And then we have Cynthia on the label.
What
With
about
Verse
what about Malachi Rose? Is
Michaela
that
Rose.
that's
That's my
right?
daughter. That's my daughter. Yeah. So she did one track. We did one song, and it did very, very well. Again, you know, you have a young girl. She's my daughter's 21 years old. So Michaela did that one song, but she wants to do more R&B and more hip hop.
Okay.
So we're working on that. And then we have verse 312, which is run by Alyssa B. You know, she has Michael January, Hitman. She has Coral. You know, and then we have another label, which is more of an underground hip hop label, Bombay Records, and that's a whole set of artists that's run by Coney Brooks. So again, these people, I have no say on who they book, and this is completely theirs. So but with us, that's who we have. But
Do you have
actively,
any artists?
yeah, Urban. We have Urban. He does very, very well. His last project, which is a project called Young, I think sold, I don't know, 1.3 million streams or something like that. Taina's very urban too. Like her last album, Pandora, I think that hit a million. Um, you know, that's very R&B ish. There's actually no freestyle on there. Some hip hop stuff. She has songs with Skinny from the Nine. She's worked with Chris Rivers, and you know, she's worked with Lumi D. She's worked with so many different people. And the last song she did before that, Happy Now, I think that also did like 1.3, 1.4 million streams or something like that. So, um, but we do have projects like for Cynthia's project, we plan to do a song with Cynthia featuring either Uncle Murder or Joel Ortiz. So we're trying to flip it into something different. Um, Everybody, just because she's Cynthia, everybody automatically feels like it's going to be a freestyle track. But you know, why not mix it up? I've always believed that the reason why freestyle never succeeded is because it never evolved. You
Is it
understand?
for List of Broken Hearts?
List of Broken Hearts. That's a song that with Cynthia that we're going to release. So we're
with
either
with a
featuring.
with a rapper from G Unit, right?
Yep, yep. So more than likely, it's going to be Uncle Murder
I,
that's going to
I
be on
think
there.
I
So
think I did my research.
Mm-hmm.
I did my research. I had to. It's hard to
And,
find stuff on you.
but I'm gonna be honest. Like seriously, like people don't realize this, but if you listen to Hot 97 in New York, right? DJ
Mm-hmm.
Enough, he's a big freestyle fan. DJ Camelo, Drewski, a big freestyle fan. Funkmaster Flex plays Coro, plays Britney Spears, plays Cynthia. He plays that on the station all the time. So why not have a Hot 97 artist or a G Unit artist with a freestyle icon like Cynthia? It
Yeah.
works because a lot of the hip hop DJs, they love freestyle music. They all grew up to it. So and it's something that's going to be completely different than what the typical freestyle producer or label is actually doing. So we're trying to just turn it differently. And for those that know who Uncle Murder is, he's like he's like a real underground rapper. He was involved in shootings. He's part of G Unit. He's this and that. So people were shocked when like, you're gonna put Uncle Murder with Cynthia. I'm like, yeah,
Why
yeah, it
not?
works. Why not? And Uncle Murder is a freestyle fan too. He knew exactly who Cynthia was, so he was
Yeah.
more excited to do the track.
Who doesn't know? Who doesn't know who Cynthia is?
Oh yeah,
That's the
definitely.
dream girl. Everybody all over the world knows who she is.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's that Dream Boy Dream Girl. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He goes, and then he turned around, he goes, yo, she's hot. Yeah, I'm gonna do that track. I was like, all right, let's do it. So it was pretty, it was pretty funny.
She
But I'm
is
excited
hot.
about that. So since Cynthia is a very beautiful, beautiful girl, and she doesn't look her age. Bank, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And Suave, women go nuts over him. Every time I book him, I know I'm going to get like a boatload of women coming because they love him. Wow. There's a lot of good looking people in freestyle. So still to this day. So
So with COVID,
mhm.
it hasn't stopped you.
No, we shifted. So when we canceled, when COVID hit, the last show we did a show in Springfield, Massachusetts at Aquarius nightclub with Cynthia. As in the next day, we did House of Blues in Boston. And then a week or two afterwards, we did Sammy's own birthday party at Evo. And then everything shut down. Everybody lost money. I lost over $50,000 in refunds that we had to give out with all the show cancellations that we had. And I turned around and I talked to Sal and I said, let's start doing some virtual shows. We did the Amigo show and we had the artists come down there and you just have to learn how to adjust and shift. There were so many promoters that just did nothing. Whereas Brian Rosenberg, myself, Sal, Zeke, a lot of these other people, they started doing virtual shows. They shifted it. So now you can watch these shows on the screen and it still allowed the freestyle artists to make money,
Yeah.
But I had so many projects on the back burner that during COVID, I spent a lot of time at home. So I was able to complete a lot of those projects. We were able to set up, Tunic social media. We were able to set up Dominus TV on Fire Stick, and we were able to just to finish up all these pending projects that we have because we were doing nothing all day but staying home. So we were able to finish up a lot of projects while we were there. So
Is there anything new coming out for 2022?
yeah, Michael January has a crazy song coming out. Um, uh, Hitman has a crazy song coming out. Coro, Cynthia, um, Taina has a song that's coming out. Michaela Rose has a song that's coming out. We're working with a new girl named Zeta Eve. She's going to be coming out with a crazy song too. We are. I can't. The contracts aren't really done, so I can't really say too much. But Verse 312 is going to pick up another big freestyle icon, and I'm super excited. I'm helping Alyssa B with that as well, and actually two more freestyle icons are going to be on Verse 312, and I've just been helping out with the paperwork because I have a good relationship with a lot of these artists, so it works, And 2022 is going to be very, very, very busy. We have shows coming up January 28th. We have a hip hop show February 26th. We have a new club that we're working with in the city April 30th, June 16th. We're doing a Pocono show. We're doing a show at the Apollo. and there's so many different things that we're doing. I'm super excited for 2022. It's like it's a little overwhelming, but it's also very exciting. So
Costas wanted to know if you're planning on doing any shows in Toronto, Canada.
we are. We started doing shows in New England. We did the first show with Judy Torres on November 5th. It was more like a test run. We wanted to see how it will work, and it worked out. That club packed up. We did very, very well. We made good money on it, so we followed up with this Coro show. The tickets are flying off the hook. Who do we have? We have Coro, Shauna. The Shauna was that idea came from Ricky Tellier, Freestyle Ricky. He told us to get Shauna, so we got Shauna. Touch of Quality, Sammy's Own, Taina. So we're looking forward to that. So New England is doing very well. So I think we might shift it, maybe do Rhode Island and make our way up. New England shows so much love for freestyle, and every time we go out there, we always have such a good time. Taina has a huge following out there, so we're always out in New England. And Toronto, Canada, we're going to try. We're going to try it. We want to start doing shows in Chicago. We want to do another show in Florida. So it's on the list. Canada's on the list. We're just not sure exactly where in Canada. But yeah, it's on the list. I don't know about 2022, but maybe the year afterwards.
Have you thought about mixing it up with new school and old school together?
I do all the time.
I know that you did it in New York. I missed that show because my cat she gave birth. I was supposed to be there. She gave birth. She decided to give birth the day before the party. So
we always do.
But what do you think about new school artists?
I don't have a problem with them. There's a big taboo. People like
controversy.
People say that a lot of promoters don't show love to new school artists. People need to understand. I can't speak for Fever. I can't speak for Brian Rosenberg. I can't speak for any of the other producers. I can only speak for me. When I do a show, me by myself, I spend thousands of dollars. That money comes out of my pocket. We have a show coming up April 30th. That show is $17,000. We have another show in June that's coming up. That's $18,000-$19,000. And I'm on the low end. You talk to Sal and Adam Torres and Brian Rosenberg. They spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 easy. Once a year, they used to have a show at Radio City Music Hall, right? All the big freestyle acts. That budget is like $200,000 easy. This is money that comes out of my own pocket. So when I'm putting money out of my own pocket, I need to make my money back or break even. If not, I'm going to wind up sleeping on your couch. So yeah. I have to put the acts on there that I know is going to sell. I have never, ever, ever lost money with George Lamont. I have never lost money with Judy Torres. I've never lost money with Suave. I've never lost money with Cynthia. I've never lost money with C-Bank. I've never lost money with Sammy's Own.
But those are all old school.
Exactly, but I have no problem. And I'm going to tell you this: Touch of Quality is on the show. Taina's still considered new school, so we put her on. And yeah, there's a little bit of bias because she's on the label. Touch of Quality, we just met recently. We put them on the show. Because I like the way they act. I like the way they are. As a new school artist, I think that you have to kind of prove yourself. And I'm going to say this right now: when I first started working with Sal, and I wanted Sal to put like Jill Terrell or Julio Mena or Taina on the show, Sal would always say, no, I don't have time for that. We showed Sal that they were worth it. We showed them that they were able to pull in a draw. We showed them that they were able to, sell tickets. We showed them that they were worth the effort. And again, at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business. So, we're putting out money in hopes to get a return. So yeah. If you're a new school artist and you don't have a draw and you don't have a following, and then sometimes new school artists are demanding, George Lamont money, but
Yeah.
you don't have that draw. So why would I invest in you if you can't bring something back to me? Because at the end of the day, if I lose money, George Lamont still needs to get paid. Cynthia, we're friends, but she needs to get paid. Business is business. You understand? So I need to make enough money so I can cover my nut, if that makes any sense.
I get
Well,
it. I get it.
yeah.
I hear you. You hear me?
But at the same time, I'm going to tell you a story. Sammy's own, and I can say this because he knows this. Sammy's own, when he first came out, he had to sell tickets.
I
Sal
I
turned Sal
I saw
turned
an
around.
interview.
Yeah, Sal turned around and said, "You know what? If you want to be on the show, then sell tickets."
Mhm.
Sammy Zone's a hustler. Sammy Zone sold 20, 30 tickets, made more money than most of the freestyle artists that were on the bill. He wound up selling 50, 60, 70 tickets. Sammy Zone and I are friends. I booked Sammy Zone because he's a draw. You understand? People love his music. He's not scared to get his hands dirty. He's not scared to, all right, you pay me this money, go give me some tickets, I'll sell some tickets too. You know, Sammy Zone is a promoter's wet dream. Sammy Zone will bring a crew of people into the club. That's what makes him marketable, and that's what makes him desirable. People tell me all the time, why do you book Sammy Zone all the time? It's because you like him. It's not about personal friendships. It's about that when I do a show in Manhattan, I know 20 or 30 people are going to show up. I know that if ticket sales are slow, Sammy, can you help me? Where other artists will say no, Sammy Zone's like, I got you. Let me tell you a story. Sammy Zone and I, at one point, didn't get along, right? For a long time. Then we started talking. I had a show with, a show got, did a show? No, show didn't get canceled. We did a show and it had TKA, we had Frankie Cutlass, we had Cynthia, we had all these people. Frankie Cutlass was involved in that whole boat crew stuff. So I don't know exactly what happened, but all I know is that with my show, people started canceling. Oh, you have Frankie Cutlass on there. I want nothing to do with that. I lost money on the boat cruise. We had 50, 60, 70 cancellations within a month. I was freaking out. I was like, I'm going to lose money. This show cost me like $15,000, $16,000. I'm going to lose all this money. I called up Sal and I said, Sal, we kind of have to remove Frankie Cutlass off the show. We have to save the show. And Sal and Cynthia and everybody was defending him. Like, well, you don't know if he really did that. I'm like, I know. I don't know either. I don't know the story. I'm not involved in it. But all I know is because of the controversy, I'm losing ticket sales. So I need to remove him. So at that time, we lost probably like 100 tickets, 100 refunds we had to give away. So I'm like, I'm gonna lose my ass. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So someone told me, talk to Sammy. Talk to Sammy. Sammy will help you. I talked to Sammy. I said, Sammy, Sammy's like, I got you. Sammy made a few phone calls. He goes, I got 10 people showing up. I want you to comp all of them. I said, I need to make money, not lose more money, but those 10 people showed up. They went straight to the bottle room. Each one of those dudes bought 2 or 3 bottles. So I had a bar guarantee. Like every time I do shows, I have a bar guarantee. I have to promise the club that they're going to generate this much money. And if I go above that, I make money. If I go below that, I have to pay. So these 10 people came in. Each one of them bought a bottle or 2. They brought all these girls in. They bought them bottles. I wound up making a shitload of money at the end of the night. I went from a loss to a win. Sammy Zone didn't have to do that. And a lot of the artists I asked, yo, can you help me out with the show? None of them wanted to help me. They just wanted that money and so forth. But then you have someone like Sammy Zone, who Sammy Zone's like, he goes, I got you. Don't worry about it. I know these guys that will buy bottles left and right. I appreciated that. He didn't have to help me, because Sammy got paid that night. He could have just been like, I got my money. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But he actually pulled me out of the fire and put me into a positive, and I appreciated that. And when someone goes out on a limb for you, for the promoter, I'm going to go out on a limb for them. So now I put Sammy on every show because Sammy, I know, will bring in people. Sammy, I know if I'm in a bind, he'll step up, but a lot of these freestyle icons won't. And if the freestyle icons won't go to bat for the promoters, a lot of the new school artists are not going to do that either. You understand? So I have no problems putting new school artists on there, but again, it's a business transaction. So what are we getting out of it? You know, like, are you going to bring people to the door? You know, if you could bring in 20, 30, 40 people, I'll pay you. I don't care. You know, I don't care. I don't have budgets. You know, if there was one particular group that we hired, and I told them, I said, listen, I don't know if you could pack up, but I'll do a ticket split with you, right? So I'll set up, you know, whatever tickets you sell, I'll pay you.
Mm-hmm.
This particular group went out and sold 50, 60, 70, 80 tickets. They made more money than if I would have paid them a regular fee. You understand? That's another group I will probably hire all the time. Because as an artist, you need to step your game up and you need to show why a promoter should. Why should I put money out and invest in you? You know, I had to fight for everything I had. I had to show people what I can do. You know, people like working with me because they always say I get stuff done at the end of the day. You know, I get along with Sal. I get along with a lot of the heavy hitters because I show and prove. I show them what they can
But
do.
you stay neutral.
Actually, yeah, I definitely stay neutral. And like I said, I
You
have
stay
no.
neutral because you don't take sides.
I try not to. You know, look, you're always gonna have your favorites. You know, that's all there is to it. You know, I have a favorite. I play favoritism with Sammy Zone because he went to bat for me when he didn't have to.
Yeah.
That's money I could have lost, and then I had to answer to my wife. I had to, you know, why couldn't I pay the bills? Because I lost money. You know, but Sammy Zone didn't have to step up. You know, Taina's like a daughter to me, so I'm always going to play a little bit of favoritism and put her on everything that I can do. You know, but then there are certain artists out there that really they step up to the plate. They step up and they show these promoters why. Sal, I'm going to tell you. See, here's a lesson for all the new school artists that are watching this right now. Sal appreciates people that hustle. He watches. He wants to watch people that hustle. When Sal first saw me coming around, Sal used to see me sneak into the club, hand out my flyers. He used to see me get thrown out, and then he would see me sneak back in. You know, he goes, "Didn't you just get thrown out?" I tell Sal, "Shh, shh, shh," and I handle those tickets again. You know, and Sal appreciates that. He loves when he tells people sell 10 tickets, and then someone like Sammy's Own sells like 150.
Yeah.
You know. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, wait, Sammy, don't sell anymore. Now I owe you like $3,000. Like that's enough. You know, we appreciate people that work hard. You know, as opposed to, oh, I got a record out, pay me $4,000, but we don't even know who you are. So if you're a new school artist, step up to the plate, show us why we should invest in you. And if you're look, it's business. If we're gonna make money, we have no problems putting out money. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Very much so. What advice can you give for the people that are trying to be like you?
You know, everybody's different. So I take a lot of advice from Sal. I watch a lot of the stuff that he does, and I like to mimic it and change it. You know, Sal would tell people, Andre's copying my stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm not copying your stuff. I'm stealing your stuff. You know, and I'm like changing it up.
He's like your mentor.
He's more like a father figure. You know, he gave me a chance when no one else did. Okay. You understand? So, and I'm going to take the difference between being a friend and everybody else. If Sal has a lot of friends in this business, but if Sal turned around tomorrow and says, I'm giving up Fever Records, I'm going to shut down the doors, I'm done, I'm retired, a lot of his friends will run away, you know, because he's not providing a value anymore. Yeah, it's business. Sal's not going to put me on no more shows anymore, so I don't need him. Right? Mm-hmm. But then you have people like me. And then you have people like Sammy's Own. You have people like Judy and Cynthia and all these people that, you know, we call up Sal just to say hello. We're not asking for favors. How you feeling? You good? What's going on? Hey, Sal, I got this dirty joke. Let me tell you. You know, that's the difference between friendship and business. You know? But bottom line is, if you want to do something, you just have to go for it. Like no one could tell me no. You know, I'd rather try and fail than live my life I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You understand?
Yeah.
If you don't believe, if you're not happy with something, do it yourself. You know, when I wanted to put Taina on the show and everyone said no, I built my own show and I did it. When I wanted Taina on the radio and all these iRadio stations didn't want to put her on, I built my own station and I did it. You know? If you want to do something, you got to hustle. one thing that people say that I have that a lot of people don't have is hustle and drive. You know, that's something that you can't get from anybody. I can make $1 million tomorrow and lose it on the next day and gain it back. You know, money is subjective. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't mean nothing. You can get, I know how to make money. I've lost it and I've gained it. But drive and hustle is what's more important. You need to want it. I go further than more than other people because I want it more than them. People tell me no, and I go around it. When Sal would tell me I'm not putting Taina on the show, Sal will walk in and Taina's on the show, and Sal and he'll be like, how'd you get that done? I'll be like, because he had 4 other partners on the show. You said no, but I went to the 3 other partners and I got her in. Yeah. Sal may look at me, but he likes that hustle. He likes that drive, and that's all I'm saying is that never give up. If you're a new school artist and no one's putting you on a show, get some money up, put your own show together, get your own headliner, go book TKA, go book George Lamont, so people will come in and then highlight you. You understand? And if you don't have that money, then work for it. Work hard for it. Try to figure out a different hustle. Everybody has their own hustles of earning money. So if you find a way to, if you want it bad enough, you'll get that money. And never listen to when somebody says no.
What about your TV station?
That's another thing. During COVID, when you're home all day and you're watching Disney Plus and you're watching Netflix and you're watching Amazon and all this stuff, and I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my bill. I'm like, yo, Hulu, Disney, HBO, Showtime, Epix. I'm like, we're paying like $150 on streaming services. This is nuts. It's crazy. I'm like, I'm gonna do my own, right? And at this point, my wife doesn't even like doubt me. She's like, she just shakes her head because she knows that I'm gonna do it.
Like, and I go again.
Yeah, she just shakes her head. She goes, I don't even want to know, and then that happens. So Dominus TV is a streaming platform that's on the Amazon Fire Stick. So if you have Amazon Fire Stick, you can go there. You can search Dominus TV, and you can download it for free. We have independent programming. We have a lot of music channels. Touch of Quality is on there. Touch of Quality is on there. DJ Racer is on there. We have the Amigo show there. I think I spoke to you. I said we should got to get your stuff on there.
Yep.
And then we have a lot of original programming, horror movies, this and that. And it's really good stuff, but we're expanding that as we go around.
Do you make money off of that?
Not yet, but we will. As soon as we get the memberships up and the viewerships up, then we can start putting commercials, airing commercials. We're working on a contract with a major distribution so we can have Marvel stuff and DC stuff. So everything's a work in progress. So am I making money now? No, I'm not making any money now. It's a free content for everybody. Touch of Quality's on there, DJ Racer. I never once tapped their pockets. I never say you have to pay. A lot of these radio stations, they're charging. I don't charge that. Just give me your content. Let's put it up. Let's work together and let's try to promote it. If it gets really busy, then yeah, then we'll do commercials. We'll do TV spots. If you want to air your flyers, we'll charge for that and stuff like that. But for now, we're just trying to build it up. And, just knowing that instead of watching on a Facebook Live, you can watch at the comfort of your home, on TV. It's like an amazing thing. And, it's like a pet project. It's going to take some time to develop, but, we're working it.
So you don't have to pay out of pocket for nothing?
No. Now, if you want Dominus TV, you can download it for free. If you want to put a show up there, if you have a show, you want to put it up there, just hit me up. Send me your video. We'll put it up. We'll make room for it. We'll put it up. And, hopefully it takes off. And if you guys promote it heavily, it'll benefit. And if it gets to a point where it becomes successful, I have no problem sharing the pot. Hey, listen, we're charging a subscription fee now, and let's split it between all the content creators. Let's give Touch of Quality some money. Let's give DJ Racer some money, or TV spot. Hey, this guy wants to promote a show on DJ Racer's show. Let's give him some money on that. So there's potential to make money on there. You just got to, figure out how to get it done. So, but for right now, we're not charging anybody for it. So
you got some good ideas, Andre.
I'm trying, look.
You be hiding, but you be hiding. Nobody sees you.
When people
say, and that you came to me a long time ago and you asked me to join you on that on that
Right.
channel. And I was like, what the hell is this man talking about? Like, you didn't give me no details. You just said, do you have all your shows? Send them to me. And I'm like, is this man out of his mind?
That's what I'm talking, and that's what I'm talking, and that's what I'm talking about. That I'm not really like a people person. I'm not like, what, Red. I have this content. I have this new thing. This is what we're trying to do. I want you to be a part of it. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm just like, yo, I know you don't know me, but just give me all your shit. Let me just do it. And that's the way I've always been. So the people that truly know me, they're like, all right, Andre's up to something. But if people that don't know me, like you're like, this guy's nuts. Like, he hit me up out of the blue. I don't know him. He's demanding, not asking, he's demanding all his content, and he's saying that he's going to do this. So, like I said, when I'm not a people person, I'm not like pleasant and stuff like that. I'm like, look, let's just do. Let's just go. Let's go. Hurry up. And I'm like that with Sal. I'm like that with Sal. I'm like that with everybody. Sal, we got the show. I need you to do this. Blah, 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 blah. And I hang up the phone. And he calls me up later on the night. He goes, what do you want? And then I have to explain it again. So I just, same thing with Alyssa B. Yo, I got this label. You're going to run it. And this is what we're going to do. And that's it. And but Alyssa knows me at that point. She's like, okay. Okay, get dressed. We're going to Canada for a show. And I hang up the phone. She's like, and she calls me up. What date? So yeah, I need to work on my people skills. So same thing, DJ DOC.
Because
hey, what's up? Yeah. Yo, Doc, what's up, man? You want to do a show? Yo, I know you live all the way in Bumfuck, Long Island, but come to Queens and do the show. And I hang up the phone. He's like, like I said, I just do. I get excited. I get overly excited when I come up with a new project, and I automatically think that because if I do it, it's just automatically dope. So I want everyone to get involved in it, and everyone should get involved in it. You
drive your wife crazy, right?
I drive her nuts. I don't know. I'm always on the go. We could we could do a show on a Friday night, on a Saturday night. We're exhausted. We're laying down on the couch, just watching like TV shows on a Sunday morning, and I'm just looking at her, and she's like, "What? What do you want to do? What?" I'm like, "Come on, let's go here. And she's like, "Yo, we've been partying for 2 days. Like, let's just relax. Let's have a Netflix and chill type of moment." I'm like, no, come on, we gotta go. Let's go. And she just rolls her eyes, and then I get annoyed. I'm like, why don't you want to do nothing? I don't understand. Like, you never want to do anything. She's like, I was with you for 2 days. Like, I do drive her crazy. I drive her nuts. She just rolls her eyes, but she supports me. She supports me in everything I do. At the end of the day, as long as I'm still providing for my family, she lets me do whatever I got to do. She's okay with me doing shows because she knows that worst case scenario, I'll break even. Mm-hmm. So it's never like, oh, I can't pay the rent this month because I spent all the money on this show. She knows that at the end of the day, even though I take a lot of crazy risks and a lot of unnecessary risks, I'll never sacrifice taking care of my family over business. As long as they're taken care of, she lets me do whatever I want. So yeah, see, DJ DOC knows.
Laughs. She just laughs.
I just roll, and she does keep me in my place. There are sometimes I come up with these really crazy ideas, and she's like, no. That's way too much money. I'm like, no, we'll come up with it somehow. She's like, no. But certain things she knows. Like, I could do a party for $100,000 budget, and she'll be okay with it because she knows I got that kind of mastered down, and she knows at the end of the day, I'll break even. So yeah. Certain things she gets a little skittish of. Certain things I'm okay. So
that's good. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Exactly. I was in a relationship where the girl I was with never wanted me to fulfill my dreams. And with my wife is different. I have these ideas, and she's like, all right, do it. Good. And she knows that if I have an idea in my head, I won't fail at it. So, like I said, I have literally like 70 projects that I want to do. I haven't done it because I can't see it making money, and I can't see myself I see myself losing money over it. So until I can figure out how to at least break even, I won't touch it. But if
You
I know I
still
can
have
do it,
you still
uh,
have the show going on for January, right, in
Ja-
Massachusetts?
January 28th, Aquarius nightclub, um, Coro, Shauna, Touch of Quality, Sammy Zone, um, Taina, and there's a couple surprise acts that are going to show up. So this is the second show that we've done there, and again, I hate driving up to Massachusetts. I just hate the drive, but the people show so much love there, and every time we go there, we have such a great time. The people there are incredible. DJ Richie Rich is going to be spinning, and the last time we did the show there, with Judy, we had such a great time, and it was amazing. It's just an amazing time. I love the people there. I love Aquarius nightclub. Freddie, the owner, he's amazing. He's a really good dude. Very catering to everybody, and the people that just, the amount of love that they show. Like you could do anything with that type of love and support. And
Yeah.
even if I didn't make money, even if I didn't make any money, I would still do a show out there just because of the love that they show.
Have you
And
thought about doing a show in Connecticut?
I have. I just, like I said, I'm very comfortable in Springfield, Massachusetts. So I just
You
like.
can't get comfortable. You can't get comfortable. You gotta keep
I know.
moving.
I do. We do take that stuff. We do take those risks. But like I said, I know I'm going to make money there. I know that the people that I'm going to tell you a story. So this is one. I'm not going to mention her name. This is one freestyle fan who lives in Springfield, Massachusetts, and she had a tragedy. Had a recent tragedy,
Hmm.
and one of the promoters out there was like kind of like shitting on her, not really treating her right. So when I did this show, I turned around and I said, "Yo, I'm gonna give you a couple tickets. I want you to come. I want you to get your mind off what's going on in your life right now. I just want you to black out and just have a good time. Think about the music, and just focus on that. She goes,
Hmm.
"You're not gonna charge me?" I said, "No, take that. That's on you. Just have a good time and get your mind off things." And she goes, "I smoke weed. Do you mind if I roll you something?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." She showed up with, I don't have it here, with a cup
I
with
think I saw it on one of your lives.
24 blunts. 24 blunts and two gigantic nuggets, and she gave it. "Thank you so much. I had such a good hit. That's for you." I still have it. What the hell am I gonna do? I'm not a big smoker. 24 blunts in a big jug. We
Sell it.
yo, we got in trouble at the hotel when we got back. We all went. It was myself, my wife, C Bank, her husband, Alyssa B and Taina. We all went to Taina's room and we're just smoking, laughing, giggling. All the neighbors were coming out. It's 2 in the morning. The whole hallway smells like weed, But she gave me like 24 blunt and like a container, and it was like the craziest thing. And she goes, "I had such a good time. Thank you so much." I'm like, "I thought it was just going to be like like a joint or something. It's like crazy." That's what I'm talking about. That the people in Springfield, so when they show love, they show love. They go nuts, nuts. I tell you. So
Well, Andre, thank you so much for coming to No Limits. I appreciate you.
I
And
appreciate
stop
you
thinking
too.
that I don't love you guys. I do love you guys. I just be busy.
I know you're busy.
I
Like
be
I said, look,
busy.
now you see how Dominus TV works. You see like other people on it. You need to come on there because, like I said, I want you to be in a bigger platform.
Okay.
Facebook is great, but I want you to go out there. Like it'd be cool to watch yourself on TV on your smart TV. And that's what I think. I think you need a bigger platform. You and I work with the same people. If I
Yeah.
tell you how much money I give Artie Rodriguez to do all my artwork, I should be a shareholder with his company. Like it's not even funny. Ask him. He's doing all my flyers, all my logos. He does
He's my
everything
Facebook
for me.
dad. He's my Facebook dad.
I call him up like 3 times a day. Do it, do it, do it. And again, he knows me too. I'm like, "I got this. Just do it. And Artie
He
knows.
must
Artie's
be
like,
like,
"I
what the
got you."
hell?
Yeah. Artie's a cool dude. He schooled me
I
when I
love
first came
him.
out, and like we've been doing business ever since. And like I said, he does all my artwork, and it's nice and clean. So it's good stuff. So, but thank you for having me, though. I had so much fun.
Thank you for coming. You made me laugh. Thank you. And we'll talk about the other
We'll
stuff
talk about it.
later.
I got you.
We'll talk offline.
No problem.
You have a blessed one.
Thank
God
you,
bless
sweetie.
you.
Take care, guys.
And I wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. God bless. Stay
Take
safe.
care, guys. Take care, guys.